For those that don't know me, I'm Rudy Bonaparte, and I'm very happy to be able to take the next 5 minutes and share with you 5 important mentors to me. Roy Olson, Jim Mitchell, Mike Duncan, Len Krasinski, and Jean-Pierre Giroux. I'll start with Roy Olson, who was my undergraduate advisor at the University of Texas at Austin. He was a great teacher and mentor, and he was the one that first kindled my passion for what we then called soil mechanics and foundation engineering. His introductory class on soil mechanics made crystal clear the fundamentals of soil consolidation, shear strength, bearing capacity, and stress distribution. Roy hired me as an undergraduate research assistant to work on development of a 3D finite difference Fortran computer model, which I found both interesting and challenging. Being exposed to numerical methods at that stage served me well in graduate school and during my career. Roy also had a great sense of humor and a funny or interesting story to tell on just about everyone in the profession. He kept things lively. I owe a lot to Roy. Next, I'll mention Jim Mitchell, my graduate advisor at UC Berkeley. Jim was a great teacher, mentor, and advisor. He was always well prepared, his lectures were well organized and clear. His feedback on assignments and tests was detailed and thorough. He was always even-tempered and accessible to students. While busy as heck, he never hesitated to make time for his students. As a PhD advisor, he was collaborative in helping me select a research topic, and he was always available to answer my questions or explore an idea. In exchange, he expected me to be independent, setting my own goals for planning, conducting, and reporting on my research. This independence taught me great life lessons, including how to be self-reliant and how to overcome obstacles. Over the years, Jim became a close personal friend, and we stayed close right up until his passing earlier this year. Jim's Berkeley and Virginia Tech colleague, Professor Mike Duncan, is another important career mentor. At Berkeley, I took Mike's shear strength, slope stability, and seepage classes not once, but twice. The first time was for credit, and in each case, I received an A, so I didn't take the class again because of my grade. The second time was to audit the classes and to try to learn all the material at a deeper level. Mike was a fantastic teacher, and I wanted to avail myself of that opportunity to learn from him. I don't know if he thought I was crazy for sitting in twice. I'm not sure he had ever seen that before. After graduation, I stayed close to Mike through ASCE committees, guest lecturing in his classes, and helping him organize a 2012 celebration at Virginia Tech honoring the career of Jim Mitchell. Over the years, we became good friends and remain so to this day. Len Krasinski. Len was my stepfather. Growing up in New Jersey, my dad passed away when I was a freshman in high school. Several years later, I met Len through neighbors. Both Len and our neighbor, Jerry Baker, were geotechnical engineers working for Woodward Clyde Consultants. Len was the person that introduced me to civil engineering and the nature of consulting engineering firms. When I started thinking about civil engineering as a major for college, he suggested I look at UT Austin and Roy Olson. When I started thinking about graduate school, he suggested Berkeley and Jim Mitchell. Len taught me a lot about the business of consulting, and he introduced me to some of his wonderful colleagues from Woodward Clyde, geotechnical icons from the first generation of Woodward Clyde, people like Bill Clevenger, Doug Morehouse, Gene Wagoner, and others. Len was also a great stepdad and dear friend until he passed away in 2011. Last, but certainly not least, is Dr. Jean-Pierre Giroux. Jean-Pierre is the co-founder of Geo-Syntec Consultants. Over nearly 2 decades, we collaborated on numerous challenging consulting and research projects, perhaps most notably a series of research projects for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in the 1980s and 1990s on the design and performance of waste containment systems. That led to us co-authoring several EPA guidance manuals and technical reference documents, as well as a substantial number of peer-reviewed technical papers. From Jean-Pierre, I learned a lot about analytical rigor and how to achieve technical excellence in a consulting engineering firm. He imbued Geosyntec with that culture, which still exists today. Jean-Pierre is also an excellent technical writer, and working with him on so many written work products resulted in me becoming better at that. Jean-Pierre and I became close friends, and we remain so to this day. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell you about 5 important professional mentors to me. Thank you.